do it mentally.
Y'all guys ready? No, y'all can come closer. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not afraid. Come on, Cal. You want to come? Yeah, come on over here. How about the press? Y'all ready? Because we can't go without y'all. We learned that. Well, good afternoon. I'm Attorney General Jeff Landry, and we've got a great announcement today. It's not that we're getting a new bridge. You know, I sat in traffic trying to get over here. So, but that's quite not the announcement today, but it's a great announcement, and it talks about public safety. I'd like to introduce, before I introduce these great, outstanding athletes, I'd like to introduce some of the law enforcement folks that are gathered with us today. We have Sheriff Sid Gautreaux from East Baton Rouge. We have Sheriff Tommy Romero from Iberia, Sheriff Brett Stassi from Iberville, Sheriff Craig Webb from Lafourche, from Livingston Parish, Lieutenant Brandon Ashford and Lieutenant Jason Harris. And then from St. James Parish, we have Colonel Sid Berthelot and Captain Dustin Thompson and Captain Dustin Jenkins. Y'all had some Dustins there. I like that. And then from Terrebonne Parish, we have Lieutenant Michael Suggs. Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing in the United States. And when a child goes missing, time matters. The sooner that law enforcement has the right and correct information, the sooner they're able to locate that child, and the better chances of a safe recovery. And of course, if your child goes missing, you really don't have the capability to think rationally. And it's tough. You have to make split-second decisions. Your house may have a half a dozen law enforcement officers in it that are asking you a multitude of questions like retrieving photos, remembering birthmarks, or other physical identifiers on your child. These are the kinds of information that are critical in helping law enforcement locate your child and hopefully bring them home safely. And that's why we're here this afternoon, to help families reunite after an abduction or a runaway. And so today, I am proud to announce that through a public-private partnership and with the help of our state's sheriffs, Louisiana students from kindergarten through 5 this year, through the sheriffs, will be provided a National Child ID kit. Each kit that will be given to the child and their parents includes an inkless fingerprint kit, a DNA sample collection, physical identification information, a place for a recent photo, and it all has easy to use instructions, and we'll show you a copy of that kit in just a minute. But this is really truly a gift to the parents of Louisiana. And what's more important is that once this kit is completed, it stays in the home. The thing that attracted me to this program is the fact that this is information that stays inside the home and with parents. It doesn't go off into somebody else's database. And we hope it's a kit that parents never have to use. As I said earlier, this new public safety initiative is made possible because of a public-private partnership. And so I'd just like to give a shout out to some of those who have made this kit possible. American Electric Power, Oshner's Health System, and Our Lady of the Lake Health Systems have both been great partners in helping to ensure that these kits will get to kids in Louisiana. And then, of course, to our sheriffs, who really are standing up right now in helping to ensure the safety of our students. And in today's times, these guys are called on to do a lot more than in the past when it comes to keeping our schools safety. And I thank y'all for what y'all do. And now you're probably wondering why these two great, outstanding football players are here. Well, actually, Randy's here because he wanted to be coached by another Landry. But for that answer, I want to turn it over to Kenny Hassmeyer, the Executive Director of the National Child ID Program. Kenny.
Thank you, General. I'm Kenny Hansmeyer. I want to take you back a little bit. I'm the Executive Director of the National Child ID Program, and I want to take you back a little bit to our history, how we started and how we got here today. And I'm very, very proud because the partner that started this, I'll explain it in a minute, and again, very, very proud that the American Football Coaches Trophy is sitting literally 25 feet from us. This program started in 1997 after Amber Hagerman was taken. Amber's mother struggled to find DNA and fingerprint information on Amber, and law enforcement had to come in and fingerprint toys, pull hair out of hairbrushes, and to try to find DNA or find information on Amber, biometric information. What happened with that, the Coaches Association, the American Football Coaches Association, saw Amber's mother struggle to try to find that information. So the American Football Coaches Association said, we have a captured audience of parents and grandparents in our college game, and what we ought to do is provide a gift of safety, these ID kits, to our college and NFL fans. So in 1997, 98 Division I universities participated in handing the ID kit out to their fans. I will say that, General, that all your Division I universities participated that year, including LSU, handing these ID kits out to their fans. We did 2.8 million children that year and became the nation's largest child ID program. So again, we're really known for the Coaches Trophy, that you have 3 of them sitting in this hall less than 25 feet away. So I'm very, very proud. We get to talk to universities all across the country that have never seen that trophy, never been able to hold that trophy up. So I'm very, very proud that you're able to do that, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last that will be presented here. In 1998, we opened up to the NFL. We had 28 NFL teams participate, 554 all-division universities. That year, there was a young governor by the last name of Bush that was sitting at watching an A&M game and asked for 2 ID kits for his daughter. Took them home, filled it out through his leadership. We did 4 million Texas school children. Randy White, Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach signed thousands of memorabilia items that we were able to take out and raise money for that program. To date, we are the world's largest child ID program with over 75 million child ID kits that have gone out into the community and worldwide. I will tell you that the sheriffs behind me, again, these kits have gone out to the parish. There was a sheriff association leader in Bobby Timmons that helped introduce this out of Alabama to the southern sheriffs, and again, each one of these sheriffs have used this program in the past. When you're 25 years old, you've done a lot of ID kits. I will tell you that your AG, Landry, is one of the top leaders in this country. Not only is he leading the effort to protect children and families with this program, but he's also leading the effort in fentanyl reduction. And I will tell you, there's not a better leader in this country or this state than General Landry. When we've needed something to introduce this program to other states, he's been on the phone with those AGs or those governors moving this program forward. So again, not only does he lead this state, but he leads this country. We're grateful to be here today, and God bless Louisiana. Thank you.
Well, when I get around Attorney General or Coach Landry, I get nervous. I'll tell you one football story. I'm a rookie. I go in and they tried to switch me from defensive tackle to linebacker. And Coach Landry would ask us questions in the meeting. Well, I was so scared of him. It was like if my dad was there, I was scared of him, right? And when he would ask me a question, I know the answer on the tip of my tongue. And I'd sit there and I'd grab the desk like this. Like, oh. And Coach Landry, anybody else know the answer? And Bob Brunick, our middle linebacker, he knew the answer. So that's why I ended up playing defensive tackle. Y'all don't know that, but Attorney General Landry knows that story. But that's a pleasure to be here today with Kenny and the Child ID program and everyone up here that's representing it. I've been supporting this thing for a long time. I believe in it. I believe in helping kids and parents and all of that stuff. And I want to make a difference somehow. And this is one way I feel like I can contribute to making a difference. And I thank everyone here for participating and being the strong, tough people you have to be to do what you do. And I'm glad I get to associate with you, and anything I can ever do to help you, I'll help you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. First off, when I was asked to come here, the number one thing was about children. Children are the next people up. Who has our back? And it's the children. So it was a no-brainer for me to be a part of this, and I'm just thankful and hopeful I'm a part of it going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And of course, I'd like to thank LSU for making this room possible. Tomorrow, we will be handing out that first kit during the game. We want to thank LSU for that as well. And again, our partners, the Lady Lake and Oshners and other American Electric Power for helping us make this possible. And again, definitely want to thank the sheriffs. And if there are any questions, we'll be happy to take some questions, either Kenny or to the sheriffs. Yeah, it's a great point. I can tell you, I started off as a sheriff's deputy back when I was 18, 19 years old, and these guys will tell you that the more information you can get them whenever there is a crime, the more proactive people can be, the less victims of crime we have. And so this kit not only helps in that aspect, but we have had a tremendous amount of young people that have decided to run away, and the ability for parents to locate them, because it's law enforcement that has to go out there and do that. This information is being proactive, and sometimes it's time that matters the most. So the quicker you can get information to them, the better you are. And so we have worked hard to be proactive, whether it's to get information out to the public on how to not be a victim of a crime, or how to prepare yourself if a crime occurs, so that these folks can get to work and bring people, either a missing child or someone, to justice is crucial. So it's a great question. Yeah,
Absolutely. So again, because it's not in a database, we get that question all the time. When you have 75 million of anything out, you want to know what those numbers might look like. But because the ID kit remains in the home with the parent, law enforcement doesn't call us and let us know, hey, they turned this over. It's between the parent and law enforcement. But I will tell you two stories real quick. We had and again, both of these ID kits in our early years went out through football. And we had a Dallas Cowboy, or I'm sorry, we'll go to the first one. But we had a parent abduction. The young man was 6 years old. His mother got an ID kit at a USC game and went home, filled it out. They were in a divorce situation. The dad took the young man at 6 years old and basically left a lot of information that he was going to South America. And so the mother looked for, again, it was a divorce situation. FBI was involved. They looked for the young man in Costa Rica. 10 years later, this young man was 6 years old. He believed that his mom was killed in a car wreck, and that's why he wasn't looking for his mom. His dad had told him that she was killed. He was 6 years old. The young man went down to get a infrared fingerprint of his fingerprint when he went to get his driver's license. They ran that fingerprint criminally to look if he was wanted in the state of Massachusetts. That's where they ended up finding him. Or nationally, that fingerprint came back, that fingerprint matched a parent abduction 10 years earlier. And again, that father was arrested, and that child was reunited with his mom. So here was a young man that didn't know his mom was alive, didn't know that she was looking for him, had no idea, just simply went down to get his fingerprint, and it matched the fingerprint of a child. If that mom hadn't gone to that USC game to get that ID kit, or was presented that ID kit that day, there would have been nothing to match up to. We had a young lady, or a young firefighter out of Dallas, Texas. Had a daughter that was 16 years old. This was about 6 years ago. Ended up getting an ID kit at a Dallas Cowboy game. I went home, filled it out, kept it back in case of an emergency. She met a young man online that she thought was 21 years old. She got on a bus. Her parents went to work that morning. She got on a bus, ended up in Atlanta, Georgia. 12 hours later, met a man that was 35 years old. He got her on drugs, put her out to prostitution. She was arrested for prostitution. Again, when she was arrested, they had fingerprints. They ran a national crime computer database. They had ID that she was 21 years old. It came back that fingerprint matched a 16-year-old runaway out of Dallas, Texas. They held that young lady until her dad got there. So again, by parents filling these out, keeping them back, I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. When we did the program, they're now 24 and 26. Both of theirs, thank God that both of their ID kits are still in my Bible today. But again, that's two examples of how this ID kit might work. Thank you.
So tomorrow we're going to just give out the first kit. We're going to let the president of the Sheriff's Association, Sheriff Kevin Cobb, give the kit out on the field to one of his constituents. Again, I can't thank these folks enough for helping us with this program. And then after that, we will then start deploying these kits. And we've got a kind of bigger prop to show y'all what it looks like. But those kits will then start going to individual sheriff's departments for them to hand out through their resource offices or whatever method that they want to use to employ them to parents in grades kindergarten through 5. This is our first commitment because it's going to take us to continue to be able to fund this program here in Louisiana through public partnerships in order to get to a point where every year our kindergartners, our preschoolers can get a kit, and that's important. But we are able to fund so if every student in Louisiana, kindergarten through 5, takes a kit, we have enough kits for them. Any other questions? All right.
Yes. So you might want to know exactly what that number looks like. 354,000 children, kindergarten through 5th grade, will receive kits. And again, what a great grassroots effort that the general has chosen. You've got law enforcement leading the effort. We will provide them with the ID kits. They can take those ID kits to their school districts and their parish, be able to let parents know in a grassroots effort through news media. A ceremonial first kit may be going out in a parish with the sheriff and the superintendent. But that way we can launch that grassroots effort to make sure that every kindergarten through 5th grader has an ID kit in case of an emergency.
Yeah, and we'll take some pictures. This is actually what the front of the kit looks like. This is the actual size of the kit. If anyone in the press wants to, go through it, y'all are certainly welcome. And so each of the sheriffs will get their bundle of kits for the schools in their parishes, and then we'll start handing them out.
And I want to make one other statement, because I don't know if the general knows. We've been at this for 25 years. I will tell you, and when we handed our ID kits out during games, LSU was, again, moving those ID kits to their fans. But I want to, I look back in history. I will tell you, for the size of this state, the sheriffs behind me, probably 80% of sheriff's offices in this state starting in 1997 have helped hand this ID kit out. They may not know the sheriff before them that handed this out, but we looked at it, and your parishes did better than any other state in the country when we first started this. So I'll assure you that the leadership in this state cares about families, cares about children, because when we went back and looked at those statistics, Louisiana led that effort. Their sheriffs led that effort, and that's commendable. And this young man right here, I don't know what this young man's name is, but he said, we're going to do it again.
This is the sheriff here.
So.
All right, well, thank y'all. Y'all guys want to take a picture? Sure. Okay. See, you got something you want to say?
Yeah. First of all, on behalf of the Sheriff's Association and myself, this is a wonderful program. It's very, very meaningful to the people involved. No, as you saw, everybody that talked about it already, they're totally committed, and I know we're totally committed to supporting this effort. The question you had earlier about time. Time is at the essence for us. And having been through missing children, child abductions before as either chief of police or sheriff, the time to try to get all this information together, God forbid it happens, but that parent's mind is all over the place. Their emotions are all over the place. So it's the time to fill this out and have all of the information that we need to pursue a case is right then and there. And all we got to do is say, sir, ma'am, do you have a kit? Yeah, I do. If they've got everything in this kit, gives us everything we need to go by to start that investigation. And time is at the essence. The longer those things go, the longer it takes us to get information that we need to get out to the public, the better off it is for all of us. And the only other thing I wanted to say, General, I was really hoping you'd let me follow Kevin, because Kevin can make a hole in a wall where there's none, so we can follow easy.
Well, Sheriff, when we gonna give the rest of them kids next year, we're gonna just put you and Kevin up here. We'll let him go first, and you can follow it.
I'm driving.
I follow the lead, man. I follow the lead. Anybody else? Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. We really do appreciate it.